Hey guys, welcome to episode 25 of Mandy Pinecone Crafts. Today is November 15, 2016. Hope everybody has had a good 2 weeks since I recorded last. I'm Amanda, your host. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Mandy Pinecone, and you can find the group on Ravelry under Mandy Pinecone Crafts. So let's get started with FOs. The first one I have is my Two-Lane Highway Socks by Sarah Stevens. I was here on the second one. These are actually going to be a birthday present for a good friend of mine from work. I'm not in love with the colors. So there's that. This is out of Cuppy Cake Yarns Yummy in the Facing Fate colorway. This was the March 2016 Disney Club. So there's that. And I think Dawn said she's actually going to start up her club yarns in January. She's taken a little bit of a break from it to actually have surgery on her ankle and is doing much better. I'm hoping she opens up the shop soon because I am running out of yarn from her. And it was a fun knit. It's got a slip stitch pattern, and then there's actually a pattern mock cable up the center of the sock. So there, those were knit on size 0 Hiya-Hiyas, and they were living in my bird legs bag. There's that one. The second FO, let's see if I can grab it, has a story behind it. Plexiglass. This is a advent calendar I actually made that is filled with mini skeins. Sarah of the Canadian Knitter podcast was talking about doing a knit along one of the nights on a VKN for blanket squares. So I thought I haven't touched my blanket in months. So I thought it would be a neat idea, and I found a pattern on Pinterest for the little triangles. They've got Velcro on the bottom that are stuck to the plexiglass. So each of them has a snowflake with a number. And then I've actually got, instead of doing 24, I've got 25 little trees. So I'll open one up every day in December, and we'll go from there. Just drinking my coffee from this morning that my husband hands me because I am spoiled. He will hand me coffee in bed. So there's that. That's it for whips. So I have whips. Living in my princess silhouette bag. Is my bigger on the inside shawl. It is a free shawl on pattern on Ravelry. It's actually from Knitty. I don't remember what issue. It is knit out of, that's actually showing up really well. Fiber Stash in her Twinkle Toes base. And this is Chartis Blue. If you're not familiar, and that's showing up the twinkle. Hee hee hee. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. That is a lace pennelled shawl on top, and then it has, the edging is actually Tardises. I'm not a Doctor Who fan. I've tried watching an episode or two. It's not my kind of TV. my kind of TV is if I'm going to actually sit down and watch something, I like the trashy reality shows that TLC puts out. That's all I'm going to say. I'd rather sit down and watch a podcast or even like a floss tube, which is the cross-stitching YouTube videos, when I have free time, or I'll sit and knit while my husband's watching whatever he's watching on TV. It's things I don't have to pay attention to. So I've tried that. This is knit on size 3.25 millimeter Haya sharps. I actually had to steal needles from Michael because I didn't have any size 3s. And I've got, I think 4 repeats, or I'm just about the lace section. So you knit the top lace section, and then you'll pick up stitches and do the edging, which will be fun. But this is the ball I'm using. It is a pretty color. I like it. It's a shawl I wouldn't knit myself, but I'm enjoying the lace panels. It's something I have to sit down and actually sort of pay attention to. So it's nothing I can do while I'm talking with people, but that's no big deal. And it actually, I've done it a couple days at work on my lunch break if it's not busy in our break room. The next project is the Running Through, I think, pattern is what it's called, by Brandy Eat My Yarns on Ravelry. This one is, she actually asked me to test knit for her. So she wrote the pattern up for both toe up, or it's a toe up pattern, but for both self-striping and variegated. I'd shown last time that I was knitting it with a different fiber stash yarn. I was not liking, you couldn't see the pattern. It wasn't enough contrast for me for the pattern. So I picked up my fiber stash sock blank that I picked up at Vermont Sheep and Wool. It's Fiber Stash Dye Works. And it's fiberstashbt.com. And then this is her Strong Toes, which is 80% superwash, 20% nylon. This is a double knit one. She actually has some single knit, which I need to get my hands on one because I want to knit a shawl out of it. And then here are the socks. I really love how they're knitting up. And that's the back side. I'm loving how the big splotches of color are just pulling, and the pattern actually, you get the little pops of color and everything else. So this is a fun pattern. Brandy actually released the pattern yesterday and has graciously offered a viewer of the podcast a pattern. So I'm going to open up a thread in Ravelry. With the prompt of, I want to see what yarns you would use to knit the pattern, be it self-striping, whatever. It's a fun slip stitch pattern. So there's that, and that's living in an Olaf bag because that's what I had sitting around. And I want snow, Christmas. So it's living in Olaf. And both of the bags, the last 2 bags, are ones that I've made myself. So there's that. The other thing I am working on was yesterday I picked back up some of my cross stitching that I'm doing for Christmas gifts. This is the Just Cross Stitch Halloween issue. So I am doing this pumpkin here and this pumpkin here for two different people. And they know who they are, so that's the first pumpkin. Yesterday I finished up this orange here and then most of the black in here. So there's that, and then there is the Cinderella's Pumpkin Spice needle minder from Nessa's Needle Minders and More on Facebook. I will post links in show notes. There's that, and then the other one, needles everywhere. That's what needle minders are for. And this is perforated plastic. It's a 14 count I picked up at Hobby Lobby when I was visiting my in-laws. And then this one is done on perforated paper. So it's actually paper that has a metal-ish coating on it that's bendable. I just wanted to play with it, and then it's going to be purple and black pumpkin. And then the needle minder on this one is a pin-up Arial block tile from No Name Needle Minders on Facebook. The pin-up Arial works for the person this is going for. I didn't have an Ursula. That would have been better. But, oh well. And those are living in my Arial the label's still in this one. Bling Your String bag. So there's that. Am I working on anything else? No. Okay. So I recorded Halloween night. Did I record Halloween? Was I off? No, I worked Halloween. I recorded the day before Halloween. So Halloween I ended up working. I sat home and handed out candy to the kids and cast on my sock blanket. Was I working my sock blanket? I don't remember. I think my sock blanket I cast on Halloween night. So there's that. The following, which day? So I think Halloween was Monday. Tuesday I met up with Christy of Fiber Sash, gave her the Close to You shawl for her booth at New England Fiber Fest, and got a skein of the TARDIS blue to do the close to the bigger on the inside shawl. So there was that. The following weekend, Lynn of the Two Tangled Skeins podcast and her fiance were down in Burlington. They'd come Easter weekend and wanted to come back and visit in the fall, go hiking, things like that. I had to work all weekend, but we were able to meet up. My husband and I and Michael were able to meet up and do dinner. She'd also dropped off a spinning wheel, which is sitting over here on the floor, a basic, just beginner spinning wheel from Tanya Celestial 22 of the After Hours Knits podcast, for me to try, because I've been thinking of getting a wheel. I'm enjoying spinning on my spindles, which I haven't touched in 2 weeks, but there's that. So I gave her Christmas package because I didn't feel like sending it. Birthday Christmas package, which included the cross-stitch pumpkin that she showed off on her podcast this past week. I also picked up, after dinner, we ended up going down to, she actually dropped off a couple things for me. Let's where I put those. I've got a strawberry rhubarb parfait tea from David's, and then where'd the other one go? Somewhere here there's a pouch of Buddha Blend, which I've tried and really like. And then she gave me this pink, rosy dusty pink merino that's swirled with gray. And for some reason, pink and gray for the past 6 months are what I'm enjoying. This is Trailhead Yarns and Fiber. She picked this up at Twist. It is a superwash merino. So there's that. And then, I'm not going to undo this. She gave me this pink piece of Aida, which I want to say is an 18 count, but I haven't checked. It is almost a half a yard, about half of fabric, so I've got a lot to do. I have an idea of what I want to do with pieces of it, but we will see where that goes. Why she was here, we ended up going to Church Street, which is a pedestrian mall here in Burlington. It also has the original Ben & Jerry's scoop shop. So we went to Ben & Jerry's, and two doors up from Ben & Jerry's is the David's Tea. So I ended up picking up a tin, which has the mice, and this has got 2 ounces of their hot cocoa tea. Before that, because I was too impatient to actually go downtown, because it can be getting mess, and if I don't have a day off, I don't want to go down. I don't want to deal with people. I had ordered this year's advent calendar. So it's what this is 24 days of, open it up, of tea. It's got the little mice, and then, no, Sarah, I have not opened this up, but from the email they were showing is as you open it up, you flip the containers here, you flip them around, and they actually make a design on the backside. This is the second year that I've done it. The little tins that are actually in here. Where is my shawl? I can hear them. Little tins that are actually in each month. Actually, I've got my stitch markers in. So I've got the book. I took out the drawers from last year and just have the little tins in each group, so I can actually see what's inside of them for stitch markers. So there was that. 24 days of tea. So my plan is with the advent calendar is to sit down with that and my minis when I get home from work and record a quick minute or two video of what the tea is for the day and what the mini is for the day, and then piece them all together at the end of the week, or I might just, if they're short enough, upload them to Instagram. So on the day, but it all depends on how long they are. So there's that. Jeanette of the Book a Stitcher podcast graciously sent me a skein of yarn as a thank you for donating a bag to her summer sock experiment. So I made a bag for the winter and sent out a package of different goodies. So she sent me this. She's the dyer behind Open Skies yarn. This is In My Life, which is a 100% merino, 437 yards of a single ply. It is this lovely cream and pink. I am in love. It came in the mail a day that I was having a shitty day at work. So it was a nice pick-me-up in the mail. And then Monday after the Monday after Lynn was up, Christy had sent me a text of if I was home or at work. She had some yarn to drop off to me because of the sample knits she had. If I'm gonna knit something for a shop, we'll play musical payment in yarn. Well, I'd asked her to dye me up 3 skeins of the Great Scott. This will be my Rhinebeck sweater mixed with something. I'm going to do a stripy pullover, I think. I'm either going to mix it with my Princess Mandy or take the Princess cheek and do I think it's the Mockingjay pattern, which has stripes down the body of the sweater, and then here of 7 different colors or 7 different stripes. I'm going to do the stripes in a rainbow variegated, and Princess Mandy will be one of them because my husband is actually named Scott, so I thought it would be an apropos sweater to do. And then she also included in the bag the other skein of Tartus Blue because she only dropped off 1, and both of us didn't realize that it actually takes a little over one skein of yarn, so she had to drop off the other Tartus Blue. And she also dropped off a couple of yarns for me to test out to see how I like the base, so it's something she'll carry in the future. The first one was a DK, and this is her Robert Crowley base, I think, around colorway. This is a DK. It is 280 something yards, I think, somewhere around there, of a superwash merino nylon. So it is actually a sock blend. So I'm thinking it's going to be either fingerless mitts. Actually, you know what? It might be fingerless mitts or a hat for me. It's not usually my colors, but it's dark, and I don't I like my hats. So we'll see. And then there's this one, which is a creamy pink, like hot pink, yellow, purple skein, which is an MCN. It's a very fluffy, soft, and squishy MCN. So this will be my birthday socks. I'm going to knit just a plain vanilla sock out of it, and we'll go from there because I want something special for my birthday socks, and this screams me. So there's that. That's about it. For election was the day after Christy was here, which would have been Monday. Tuesday was the election. My husband got me up at 6:30 so we could go vote at 7 to try to avoid the major lines because we are in a bigger-ish town in Vermont. So we stood in line for 20 minutes. I think by the time door to door it was like 45 minutes. So we went out and voted. The election, that's it all I'm going to say on the election. It didn't go how I hoped, but we will see. As he put it, he's lived through worse. Give him a chance. You never know. So we will see how Trump does as president. There's that. And then what else? I actually ripped out my Mama vertebrae. I'm actually going to knit, cast on once I can find a pattern. I want to take the Wonderland yarn and do a like slouchy sleep hat, like the big stocking caps out of it. So that will be cast on in the next week or two, probably in the next day or two. My nose itches. There's that, and then I think that is it for today. If you guys have any questions for me, ask them in the thread on Ravelry. Have a good week. Bye.